Shalom, Mishpachah. Shalom, shalom. Yom Arba'a Tov. Hey, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Yes, 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 we're here for another lesson. And you know what? For another discussion, let's say that. And we're going to be talking about the Fifth Commandment. That's right. We're going to be talking about the Fifth Commandment. And what we want to know is, well, are we doing it right? Is this the right way to do it? I mean, or not do it, I should say. Let's talk about it. What really does it mean?
Real. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
All right, we are back. We are back. All praises to the Most High. Yes. All praises to the Most High. We're so glad you know what? I'm glad that I'm at this part of the day. I really am. I'm so glad that I'm at this part of the day because it is been a long day, right? For some of us, it's been a long day. Maybe for some of you, your day is just starting. Hey, here we are at this moment where we can talk about the Word of the Most High. And so we're going to do exactly that. We're going to look away unto Him. Blessed are you, Most High. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. We love you. We praise you. We honor you. We give you all the praise, the glory, and the honor. Ein Elohim Rachocha. There is no other God but you. There is no other Elohim but you. And we praise you. We magnify you. We thank you because in you is our life. You are our righteousness. You are our strength. And we give you praise. We magnify you. We ask that you would forgive us and have mercy upon us because we strive to walk in your ways. We want to be like you. We want to please you. We want to walk in your righteousness and in your holiness. And so we ask that as we take this journey into your word, we ask that you would open up our understanding. We say before you that our eyes and our ears are open. The eyes and ears of our hearts are open, and we are ready to receive of you. We give you all the praise, the glory, and the honor. Hallelujah. Shema Yisrael. Ya Eloheinu. Ya Echad. There is no other Elohim but you. And we give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. All right, let's look away. I think what we're going to do is, you know what, we are going to give him some praise. Yeah, we're going to do it right here. We're going to do it with Psalms 111 and 1. Here we go. I will praise God. I will praise God with my whole heart in the assembly of the upright and in the congregation. I will praise you with my whole heart in the assembly of the upright and in the congregation. I will praise Yahweh always, 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 always. All right, as you know, we'd love to continue praising him, but I will praise him always. I will always give praise unto the Most High. And yes, it is correct. Yes, we are on the sixth commandment. we are on the sixth commandment. I guess I missed that typo. This is the sixth commandment that we are on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to change it. Let's see if I can change it real quick. Can I change it? Am I able to change it real quick? My sister said, "Wait, I was about to dance." Let me. It's so good to see my sister again. She's back with us, and you know what? I did say the fifth commandment. I'm going to change that to the sixth commandment. I don't know if it's going to change. I don't know if it's going to change everywhere, but you know what? I hope that it will. I just changed it in YouTube. I'm also going to change it in Facebook. They will let me edit the post. And so, yeah, I'm going to change that puppy right now. How about that? I'm going to change it, and then we're going to get on with this. Now, this is not going to be a long session. You know, we have had some sessions where, yeah, it's taken a while. But this is really going to be quick, and I'm going to try to only be an hour because I do respect your time. And I just want to make sure that, long story short, that we cover what we need to cover in this. And then guess what? We're going to go ahead and we are going to get into the topic at hand. I did update it, so hopefully, yeah, and it is correct. All right, so we are good to go. Pardon that mistake. Pardon that mistake. Pencils come with erasers, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and we're going to get into the scriptures. We're going to get into the word of the Most High. Now, as we get into this, let me just say this by way of reminder that the reason why the Ten Commandments are so important, or the 10 sayings, they are so important, is because they are a miniature encapsulation of the law of the Most High, the covenant of the Most High. It is basically, it is His word, and it gives us a snapshot of what the covenant is and how we are to respond to each other, and more importantly, how we are to respond to the Most High. And so it gives us the context, if you will, and the foundation for being a nation. When I say being a nation, I'm talking about being a nation in every sense of the word, being a people who identify as the Most High intended for them to identify together and to be grouped together with the purpose of being able to allow the Most High to lead, guide, and direct every facet of our life, every facet of our being. That's what this is about. This is not about religion. We are not in a religion. This is not religion. This is rather a way of life. Therefore, we sidestep religion completely because this is not about religion at all, but this is about a way of life. And since this is about a way of life, the Most High shows us how to live, and it begins with what we call the Ten Commandments, right? It begins with the Ten Commandments, and with that being the case, let me just kind of refresh your memory here, and we're going to get into this, that even in the Christian New Testament, there's some things that they didn't even get wrong. When it comes to labeling what sin is, notice what it reads. It reads, "For whosoever commits sin transgresses also the law." For why? Because sin, in its very definition, is a transgression and is therefore connected to the law. It is impossible for you to have a discussion about sin and then to say that, hey, the law is done away with. If you say the law is done away with, then sin is done away with. So it is so important unto us that definitely sin itself is connected to the law, to the commandments, to the statutes and the ordinances of the Most High. Well, if we go here to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse, you'll find another reason why this is so important. This is important for us to take a look at. It reads here, it says, "And he declared unto you his covenant," meaning he, the Most High, Yahweh, El Elyon, he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. There were just 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. So this then basically is a covenant. So we're really addressing a covenant here when we talk about the Ten Commandments. Now, many of you may feel like, you know what, man, 613, I can't memorize 613 commandments. I can't do that. How do I walk out 613 commandments? Well, this is how you begin. And if you do this, if you keep these 10, okay, if you keep these 10, then you can keep whatever, how many ever numbers, 613, right? You can keep these and more. Because if you keep this and keep this, right, then you are doing the whole law. If you keep these, right, you are then doing the whole law. Well, let's dig in, because we have gone through the first all the way down through the fifth commandment, right? And it is the sixth commandment that we are on right now. And, you know, this is really easy for, well, there is a memorization path that I have, a memorization course that I have for memorizing the Ten Commandments and for memorizing them in their order, okay? Well, when you take a look at the Ten Commandments and you take a look at the sixth commandment, it's noted that man was created on which day? Which day was man created on? Which day was Adam created on? Adam was created on the sixth day, right? So one way for you to remember the commandment number 6 is that you shall not kill, right? You shall not kill. Now let's take a look at the commandment itself. Let's go to the commandment. We're going to Exodus, the 20th chapter, and we're going to go to the 13th verse as we go to Exodus. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read down through these, if you don't mind, since that is such a short verse. Okay, I want you to see this. I'm just going to read here, beginning at verse number 1 in chapter 20. It reads, "And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yah Eloheka, I am the Lord your God, I am Eloheka, I am Yah your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other Elohim before me, and you shall not make unto you any graven images or anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them." Okay? Please keep in mind that the clause here in the beginning of verse number 5 goes with the entirety of the fourth scripture. Many people feel like, well, you know, the ancients, our ancient foreparents, they did not carve anything. They couldn't engrave anything. Wait a minute. You need to understand something here. It reads that they're not to engrave or to create an image to bow down to them and to serve them. Okay? They're not to bow down to serve them. There is, I don't know, I'd have to find that picture. But there is an engraving that was found actually over here in the United States. It was found, I believe, in near Ohio, okay? And this dated to the time of Isaiah. This dated to the time of the prophet Isaiah. The square script was being used, okay? Remember, Ezra introduced the square script, okay? After the Babylonian exile and after the return from the Babylonian exile, he introduced the Babylonian square script only to differentiate between the Samaritan Tanakh and the Samaritan Paleo-Hebrew, okay? He wanted it to be different, and so he made it different. So he used the Babylonian square script. And here, if I could find that image, that would be great. That image is, long story short, it is of an individual, and this man has the Ten Commandments around him. It's carved in stone. And let me just see if I can, I don't know if I'd be able to find this or not. I'm going to try to find this real quick, only because I mentioned it and I want you to see it. Let me see if I can find this really quickly, because I want you to show that the ancients did actually engrave, they did carve things in stone. They really did. But they were not to bow down and to worship them, okay? Many people read that and they say, oh, you know, you're not supposed to be carving or engraving anything. Now, if you say that you're not to carve or engrave anything at all, then you're really building a hedge around the law. You're really you're adding to it, to be honest with you, because he said, "Hey, I don't want you to make anything to bow down unto them and to worship them." Okay. I am not able to find that. I'm not going to belabor the hour to try to find that. Um, though I could check in my downloads, right? But hey, I don't think I'm going to waste time doing that. But anyway, at some other time, perhaps I will find that and I will show it to you. That's possible, right? This really is not the focus of our lesson, so let me keep it moving. So as we take a look here and look at the scriptures, they're not to engrave anything so that they bow down unto them and serve them. For I, Yah, Eloheka, I, Yah, your Elohim, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Hallelujah for your mercy. Thou shalt not take the name of Yah, Eloheka, Yah, your Elohim, in vain. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Okay? And these things we did talk about. Look at verse number 8. Cursor's going crazy. Remember Shabbat and keep it holy. We talked about that. 6 days you shall labor and do all of your work. 6 days you're going to labor and do all of your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath unto Yah. And we are going to be talking about the calendar real soon. I'm doing more research on it, but we're going to be talking about the calendar because you could ask the seventh day. Well, the seventh day from when? Well, we're going to be talking about that when we talk about the calendar, but not tonight. The seventh day of the Sabbath, in it you shall not do any work, okay? Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and he rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath, and he hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother. Okay, Fifth Commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah Eloheka gives thee. Yah, your Elohim, which he gives you. Now we come to the sixth commandment, which is, thou shalt not kill. Now, one of the first things I will say something that many of you know already. To kill is different than to murder. Okay? And really what this should be, and I'm going to prove to you why this really more accurately should be read, thou shalt not murder, because murder is different than killing. Okay? I'm going to say it very pointed, very emphatic, point blank. There are some people that need to be, I hate to say it, killed. That's what capital punishment is for, right? There are some people that need to be killed. Right? There are some people that need to be killed. If someone, what does the state do normally when someone kills, a bunch of people? They sentence them to death, right? Well, the scriptures declare that an individual is to be sentenced to death even if they kill one person. And they didn't drag it out for years and years and years. And the reason why they drag it out for years and years and years here is because they're trying to get more labor out of the individual. Because the state is trying to, basically it's all about money, right? The state is trying to get money, more value out of that person's life by having them perform free labor for years and then kill them, right? Well, there's a difference between murder and there's a difference between killing. When you murder someone in innocent blood. Their blood is innocent. They did not deserve to die. But when their candle is snuffed out, when they kick the bucket, when you kill them doorknob dead, and they have not done any wrong, then that is murder, and the blood of innocence has been spilled. Well, the Most High has a lot to say about the blood of the innocent being spilled. He has a lot to say about that. He's got a lot to say about the way that we even look at this and the way that we think about this, the Most High has a lot to say about it. Okay, so let's go into some scriptures here, because the Most High gives us an example, and he gives us his law and gives us a good understanding. Notice what it reads here, okay, in Deuteronomy 21 and 21. Now, for the sake of context, let me go up and read this to you, okay, because I want you to get the full context. We're going to begin at verse number 18, with verse number 21 being the verse of emphasis. We're going to start at verse number 18. Notice what it reads: if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son. Now, keep in mind, what we're going to read, we're going to be reading laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. That is his covenant, right? And please keep in mind, what the Most High is doing is he is making a nation out of a people that used to be slaves, out of a people that was not a nation. So he's giving them instructions and trying to, if you will, nurture them, mentor them, and grow them up so that they can be a nation of people, okay? And I'm going to say this only because I mentioned the word nation, and we're talking about the covenant and the 10 Commandments and nation building. This is the foundation of every society, or I should say any divine society, any society that the Most High has authored. This is the foundation of it. This should be the foundation of it, right? That we follow his laws, statutes, and his commandments. And this is the foundation of nationhood itself. This is how you build a nation. This is how you take a people who were battered, broken, and torn. This is how you take a people, you bring them unto yourself, and you begin to nurture them in the wilderness. You begin to nurture them and bring them into a different mind state, a different spirit, if you will, a different mentality. And so you give them your laws, your statutes, and you have to. Now, some of this is going to seem as if it's just, wow, that's kind of harsh, okay? It's going to seem a little harsh. And if you'll notice here, when you read the scriptures, the Most High did things to get people's attention so that people would wake up and say, hey, I don't want that to happen to me, so I better not do that. So here we go. We're going to read it. We're going to begin at verse number 18, and it reads that if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him or chastised him, that he will not listen to them, will not hearken unto them, notice what happens. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of that place. Okay. Oh my goodness. Where in the world did that verse go? Okay. They shall bring, I told you my cursor goes crazy sometime. After they've chastised him, they will bring him out to the gates of the city, okay, to the gates of that place, verse number 20, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this is our knothead, stubborn, don't want to work boy. He's rebellious. He's a hell raiser. He doesn't want to listen to me or to his daddy. We've warned him. We told him what the law of the land is. We told him that we'd bring him to the elders. We told him what happens. We told him what happens in our society. We told him what happens. But he said that he doesn't give a blankety blank, blank, blank. Okay, this is our stubborn son. He's rebellious, and he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton, and he's a drunkard. Okay? So they got their pot-belly son in front of the elders, probably half drunk. And notice what it reads. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. What? I mean, talk about, listen, imagine how much delinquents we would not have, right? So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. See, notice what I said. The Most High does things, okay? It has a shock value added to it. Why? So that all Israel shall hear and fear. Okay? That is what the Most High wants. That all Israel shall hear and then reverentially observe the words of the Most High and follow his laws, statutes, and his commandments. Now, Hey, I know. Some of you are like, man, my cousin Bubba better be glad that this wasn't the law when that this wasn't the law when he was coming up, because, well, I want you to see here, it's important for us to understand that a nation is being built, okay? And so it's establishing the fact that the young men are to be productive, they are to listen to their mother and their father. And by the way, the fifth commandment, if you notice, if you will, the fifth commandment has everything to do with this, because remember, the fifth commandment is the first commandment with promise. What is it? Honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon the earth. Well, notice Bubba here, basically, he dishonored his mother and his father. And so, guess what? He's about to check out. He's about to check out of here. Now, the reason why we would think that this is so harsh is because we live in America, where crime and sins and things that the Most High hates is glossed over, even laughed at, even applauded at some points in times. There is a difference between the culture that we live in, this American culture, this Christian culture. There is a difference between this culture that we live in and the culture that the Most High has ordained that we should live in. Nationalism is about ideology, not genetics. I'm going to say that again. Nationalism and building a nation is about ideology and not about genetics, okay? Somehow in our minds we think that to be a nation, that means that all of these people are of one, they're of one blood ethnically, right? Which, as you can see here, they were a mixed people, right? But they had to all have the same ideology and be basically have the same purpose and following the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, right? So here, Bubba, who is just like, hey, I don't want to obey you. I don't care if it costs me my life. Now, please keep in mind, Bubba here, I'm going to call him Bubba, right? Bubba was told what the law was. He knew what the law was, and he chose, okay? He chose the consequences, right? Now, this would only be unfair if we're living in our Americanized culture where any and everything goes. Little children are telling their parents to shut up. They're hitting their parents. They're even fighting their parents. I saw with these here eyes, a woman was in the hospital in a wheelchair, and her daughter actually tried to fight her and was hitting her with her fist as this poor woman was in this wheelchair, and they were the woman in the wheelchair had to try to defend herself. This is outrageous, and it never should have been. It never should have been. When I was over in Ghana, I will tell you the truth. One of the things that I saw and noticed, all of the young people, they were very polite. They were very respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir. No one was disrespectful at all, okay? But over here, we think we have it better. Children are telling the parents what to do. Children are hitting, kicking, telling the parents to shut up, right? Well, that is not the culture that the Most High wants us to live in, and it is not what the Most High demands of us, okay? The only way that this would be unfair is if you suddenly changed our culture and said, hey, we're going to do this right now, boom, without any preparation, without any understanding, and without any agreement, okay? So I want you to notice something here. They said he's a drunkard and he's a glutton. They brought him to the city, and now, this is the way that you put evil away from among you, okay? The Bible does not suggest that we follow some of the ways that we've been taught to go. The Most High said, you know what? There are some people that are just evil. They make decisions to do evil, even in the midst of correction, even in the midst of suffering for what they're doing. They don't care. They love evil so much until they're saying, I don't care. I just want to go ahead and do what I want to do, right? Well, let's take a look at this. Verse number 22 reads, "And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him." So even in capital punishment, the Most High gives you instructions. Hey, this is the way that you're going to do this, right? Again, we have to have the same idea. We have to walk under the same philosophies, if you will, and ideologies. This is what we do, okay? So that is one that I wanted to show you, but I also wanted to show you another one here. This is Deuteronomy 22 and 21. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also go up and show you for the sake of context, okay? I'm gonna show you this, okay? Where do I start? Okay, I'm gonna start right. I'm gonna have to start right here, okay? Because this is a longer passage. So you know what? Okay, here we go. Let's start at verse number 13. I'm just going to read quick. "If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her." So he took a wife, he went unto her, right? They did what grown folks do. But now he hates her and gives occasion of speech against her and brings up an evil name upon her, and say, "I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid," or not a virgin, which is really what this is talking about. If I look at this in the Hebrew, okay, she is Bethulim, virgins, right? Let me find it here. Basically, he did not find her to be a virgin, right? And what he's saying is, you know what? She tricked me, right? She tricked me. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that she tricked me. She's supposed to be a virgin, but it was not found to be a virgin. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just reading this. Yeah, I did not find her to be a virgin, okay? Or of the virgins. So in other words, she was not a virgin. She was not a virgin kind of a woman. So I didn't find her to be a maid. "Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity." Now, what is that? That's because, when they got married, right, since she was a virgin, when they did what grown folks do, right, her hymen was broken, and so they would keep the sheet that had the blood on it. And they would keep that up because that's legal evidence. That is legal evidence. And so, long story short, they would keep that, right, and that was evidence. And notice, it is the token, okay? "Shall bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity." That bloody sheet is the token of her virginity. And it says, "Unto the elders of the city of the gate," they're going to look at that and say, "Okay, we've got evidence. So we know that you're lying, okay, because she was a virgin. We have the evidence. We've got the, almost like what Monica Lewinsky did to Bill Clinton. But like, hey, we have the evidence right here, okay? "And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hates her. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter to be a virgin. And yet these tokens are the tokens of my daughter's virginity." In other words, he got caught in a bold-faced lie. We have the evidence right here. "And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of that city shall take the man and chastise him." What you doing, fool? They're going to chastise him, right? "And they shall immerse him." Basically, he's going to have to pay 100 shekels of silver. My goodness, man, you have to pay. You got to pay some serious money. "And give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel." What I love about this of being a nation is that they honor the virgin women. The women who are virgin are honored. They are honored. They are honored. And so basically, we did not play when it comes to um, dealing with our virgins, if you will. We honored them. Okay. Okay, Virgin of Israel. There we go. And notice what it reads: and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Like, take that. You gonna learn to love this. He cannot put her away all his days. No divorce for you, buddy. Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me back up. Let me back up. She shall be his wife all his days. But if this thing be true, if there is no sheet, if there is no evidence, and the tokens of her virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. To play the whore in her father's house. Giving it up, and her parents didn't know it. She's not a virgin. She's pretending to be a virgin. Okay. And notice what else it reads: so shalt thou put evil away from you. Okay, so shall you put evil away from you. Now, this is the way that the Most High, says, you know what? This is the way you're to put evil away. Now, if you knew you were going to die, I just want you to think about this for a second. If you knew that you were going to do something and out of that you were going to die, would you do it? No. In the previous verse that I read, the Most High said that all of Israel may hear and fear. In other words, hey, I'm not doing that. Because you know for a fact that this would rock a community, because everybody knew everybody, right? Oh, Shaniqua was caught. Shaniqua got caught. Yep, Shaniqua got caught. And we all had to go down to, that would be such news, right? That would be huge news, right? And you wouldn't have the rampant promiscuity and sin that we have today. You wouldn't have a lot of that, right? People would be circumspect and walking like, man, hey, I'm following the line because I do not want to die. I don't want to die, right? And I know that some people may think that that's so harsh. And again, it's because we live in this American society, right? We live in this American society where kind of like anything goes, whatever, a man can put on a dress and call himself Penelope, and they want everyone to stand up and applaud it. Anything goes here. But these are not the ways of the Most High. The Most High said, you know what? This is the law. This is what you are to do. Okay? So it is written here that if she plays the whore in her father's house, guess what? This is the way that you need to put evil away from you. Okay? So, long story short, there are other instances that we could also read and we could also show you. Okay? But let's go here. We're almost done, but let's go here. Notice what it reads. If a man be found stealing, okay, now this is Deuteronomy 24:7, okay. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, in other words, you're stealing him, you are kidnapping them, and make merchandise of him, or sells him, then the thief shall die. Again, there are some people that need to leave here. There are definitely some wicked people that need to leave the planet. Okay? And it says, and thou shalt put evil away from among you. So, once again, it is different, okay? Murder is different than killing, okay? People who commit capital crimes and are caught and are punished, they are justifiably killed. Okay. What other ways or what other things could we say regarding justified killing? Well, if you're in war, right? I mean, you're not there to play cards. You're not there to, I mean, war is war, right? Um, verse, let's do this. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 19. Okay. And let's go ahead and read this, okay? Because this gets just a little bit lengthy, but let's go ahead and read it. Deuteronomy 19 chapter, beginning at verse number 1. When Yah Eloheka, Yah your Elohim, hath cut off the nations whose land Yah your Elohim gives unto you, and you you succeed the people that were there before, and you're living there now, and you're dwelling in those cities and their houses, right? That you shall separate 3 cities. You're going to separate 3 cities in the midst of your land, right? Look at verse number 3. You're going to separate 3 cities, and you shall prepare you a way and divide the coast of the land, which Yah your Elohim gives unto you to inherit, into 3 parts. Okay, so for every territory, there's 3 parts, right? Why? That every slayer may flee there. Now, what is a slayer? Okay, it's going to define that itself. I'm going to give you the definition. And this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee there, that he may live. Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly. So, yeah, he did his neighbor in, but it was ignorantly. He didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Whom he hated not. Okay? So, it's someone that he did not hate. This was not premeditated. Okay? As when a man goes into the woods with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetch the stroke with an axe to cut down the tree, and the head slip from off the helve and lights upon the, basically the axe head hits the neighbor in the head and the neighbor dies. What's supposed to take place? If he wants to live, he shall flee into one of those cities and he shall live. Okay? So in other words, accidental death. I didn't mean to do it, right? I did not mean to do it. And this, you see, a lot of people say, man, these ways, man, they so harsh and they just so, law, man, it's just so harsh, man, it's so harsh, it's so harsh. Well, number one, you're looking at it with American eyes. You're looking at it with modern American eyes, okay? And this is a part of culture that you're not even, it's so foreign to you, okay? But see, if you will, take a moment and just put yourself in the shoes of the individual that did something ignorantly, okay? You didn't mean to do it. And so it's true that the law of the land is eye for eye, cut for cut, wound for wound, stripe for stripe, burn for burn. It's true that as you do unto others, yes, it's going to be done unto you. But in this, the Most High gives grace and mercy. And he says, if you've done so ignorantly, now, I have to let you know that yes, if you do kill someone and you hate them and you meant to do it, you're just like Cain. I got to deal with you. You need to die, right? But if it's on an accident and you really did not mean to, get to one of these cities and you're going to live. Okay? Get to one of these cities and you're going to live. But wait a minute, there's something also in here that you need to see. It says, if he goes to one of those cities, he shall live. Look at verse number 6. Lest the avenger of the blood. The avenger of the blood. The avenger of the blood. Never heard that before. The avenger of the blood. Well, the avenger of the blood pursues the slayer, okay? And while his heart is hot and overtake him, right? Says, hey, get to one of them cities and let him calm down. Okay? Remember what Yaakov did after he tricked Esau or fooled Isaac, whatever you want to say, and got the birthright and got the blessing? Remember that? Well, notice what he did. He did run to another city, and by the next time he saw Esau was like, man, that's water under the bridge, right? That's water under the bridge. So this is kind of like the same thing that's happening right here. So the avenger of blood is someone that basically is a member of the family that's going to be like, hey, you about to be dealt with. You know, you killed our people. Yep. You're about to be dealt with. Okay. So in looking at the avenger of the blood, and in fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's do this. Because this is another instance where there are cities that one may run to. Okay. I could start at 13. And of these cities which ye shall give, 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. You should give, and he talks about you giving 3 cities over here, 3 cities over there. And it says, these 6 cities shall be a refuge, verse number 15, both for the children of Israel and for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that every one that killeth any person unaware may flee there. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. Okay, the murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing a stone whereof he may die, he is a murderer. Okay, because they had slingshots that were very lethal back then, and they used stones. For if he smite him with the hand of a weapon, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall be put to death. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer. When he meet him, he shall slay him. Okay? When he meets him, he shall slay him. And if he thrust him of hatred, or hurl at him by laying of weight that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hand that he die, he that smote him shall surely be put to death. So again, notice what it reads here, for he is a murderer. This is what I'm talking about. There's a difference between killing and there's a difference between committing murder, okay? So the one who commits murder is one who kills someone that is innocent. But notice, if you will, the revenger of blood is one that will basically say, hey, I'm here to do what the scripture said, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You killed somebody, and now you got to be dealt with, okay? So then that is the law when it comes to killing and when it comes to finding refuge, right? Because someone died and it was an accident, right? I think today they call that manslaughter, right? So let me do this, and let me go here, because this is also talking about the revenger of blood. Okay. Again, it's kind of like the same situation. Look at the top of verse number 23. Someone is basically wounded so that they die, right? Seeing him not, and is basically, he was the person that died. They weren't enemies. He didn't do it on purpose, right? It says, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. The congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whether he was fled, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest. Okay, so the death of the high priest signified when judgment would take place. that individual could remain in that city of refuge, and that individual better pray that that high priest continues to live, because when that high priest dies, then basically his protection is over. His protection is up. Okay. Let's go back here. Let me show you this. Look at verse number 26 here. We're almost done. Verse 26, but if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whether he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the border of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he should not be guilty of blood. So basically, if you're in a refuge city, you have to stay your behind right there. Okay? Because if the revenger of blood find you, you're on your way to Vegas, about to have some fun, and the revenger of blood finds you, that could be it. That could be it for you, right? That could definitely be it. One of the last scriptures I have here deals with also the Most High says that when you have a prophet that is prophesying, okay, notice what it reads here, verse number 5, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yah, your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage. Okay, please keep in mind that Egypt is the house of bondage. To thrust you out of the way which Yah, your Elohim, command you to walk in, so shall you put evil from the midst of you. Okay? So, bottom line of it is, there is a difference between killing, and there's a difference between murder. Okay, those who commit such crimes and such sins that are worthy of death, yes, the Most High says they do need to die. They do need to die. It's all of this, you know, the way in which we live today. I'm just going to simply say it. The way in which we live today, we actually have what we bargained for. Okay? We live in a system that almost celebrates the criminal and applauds the criminal.
It's 8 o'clock.
Right? And it's a criminal's justice system. And so let me do this. Let me go to the chat room and let's see what you guys are saying. All right, let's see what you're talking about there. All right, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Hey, I don't think I gave shouts out. Got to give a shout out to my day one. Yep, my brother from another mother, none other than Bergen Paris. Peace and blessings to you. I saw Josh and Penny also in the house. Yep, Josh and Penny is here. Peace and blessings to you. My sister's here, Jacqueline E. Bugs. Yirmayahu Yisrael, you're here. EJ Love, shalom to you. Yeah, shalom to you. My brother Adrian, peace and blessings to you, my brother Adrian. Kanaya Israel, my sister is here. Bless you, my sister. Who else did we get? Everybody? Did I see, Anime OJ TV, peace and blessings to you, my brother. Yirmayahu Israel. Okay, Yakal Abad. Okay, peace and blessings to you. You're new to the room. Glad that you are here. Let's see. Do we have any questions before I leave? Do we have any questions before I go? Okay, my sister asked now. Oh, okay, this is addressed to me. My sister asked, what if when it is family rape, brother or father, neighbor rape at Malkia, she is dying when she may have cried out, but no one could hear it. Well, what happens in that case is she would go to the elders of the city. Okay, and again, see, this is what I'm saying. This is how you build a nation, and so there's so many things that we don't have in place that we need in place. The elders were our court system, if you will. Not this wicked court system, but the elders that we have were our court system. You could go to them. They sat at the gate and they gave you counsel, okay? She would be able to go to the elders of the city and she would be able to explain what's going on, and then they would investigate, okay? They would investigate it, and then, of course, there's a lot that would have to take place, but yeah, there would be an out, if you will. There's the Most High always has a way for us to do the right thing and for us to walk in His laws, statutes, and His commandments. So yeah, even if it was one of those things where it's a family thing, she could go to the elders and she could spill the beans, and it would have to be investigated. Shalom, shalom. Oh, my sister Soprano Jessie's in the house. She cooking dinner, y'all. Hey, I hope she cooked enough for all of us. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you. Okay, let me. Yeah, the Most High even gave Cain protection. Again, He is merciful. He is kind. He is great. And He gives us an opportunity. I'm telling you, this lie that Marcion tells, that this creator is supposed to be so bad and whatever. Look, the Most High said, you know what? Hey, I'm going to show you how loving I am. I'm going to show you how much grace I am. Even when it comes to Cain, He gave Cain an opportunity. Okay? He gave Cain an opportunity to live longer than what he would have had he not had that mark on his face. Right? All right, so I think I've addressed all the questions. I think I have. One of the last things I'm going to mention as I close, we're talking about the Sixth Commandment, right? Which is really, I mean, it's. I've gone through it. I've talked about it, and there is a reason. There is a reason why it is wrong to commit murder. Okay? Let me address that right here, right now. Let's address it. Let's talk about it, because it is a very good reason. I'm going to show it to you, and this is why murder is never to be committed, right? If we go to Bereshit, chapter 9. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to be out of here. How about that? Notice what it reads here. Whoso shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of Elohim made he man. The reason why it's wrong to murder is because you are doing violence against the image of the Most High. That is why it's wrong to murder. Okay? When you do violence against the image of the Most High, remember, the male and the female together, right, represent the image of the Most High. How is it then that a man can beat his wife and act like he hated her, he beaten her, and he's just... No. The Most High does not like that. The Most High does not condone that. Okay? I don't care if you're in Islam. I don't care if you're in Israel. I don't care where you are. The Most High does not condone that, right? Because you're doing violence to the image of the Most High, right? And so this is why it is wrong to murder, because when you murder, it is direct violence against the image of the Most High, and therefore it's violence against Him as well. Well, with this being stated, with this being the case, I think I've answered all the questions that were there in the chat room. This has been the Sixth Commandment which simply says, you shall not commit murder. Okay? The way that the King James clumsily puts it, you shall not kill, is incorrect. You shall not do any murder. You should not kill innocent blood. Okay? Now, with this being the case, I've shown you why it is wrong to commit murder because, again, it is violence against the image of the Most High. So then think about some of the movies. Think about some of the movies that you watch where things are going on, where people are dying left and right, okay? Where we have become so desensitized to murder, if you will. By the time, I think one of the statistics, one of the older statistics was that by the time a child is 17 years old, he's seen from 17 to 20,000 murders on the television and have become desensitized to it to a certain degree. And basically what it is it's desensitizing people to do violence to the image of the Most High. This is what is desired by the wicked, that we be just without feelings, without any kind of sensitivities when it comes to violating and doing violence to the image of the Most High. We are not to commit murder. We are not to do anything to the innocent, okay? Which is why the law concerning the virgin and her being falsely accused, that's why that is so important as well. We must by all means protect the innocent. But for those who have done things worthy of death, the Most High says in his word, in the scriptures, that there is a punishment for them that is unto death. The failure of our society, I'm talking about America, I'm talking about this modern day and age in which we live, is that they do not hold to the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. And it is because of that that the land is full of evil and full of wickedness. And it is full, absolutely full of debauchery. And we are forced to tolerate it as we try to live a peaceable life. Because of the laws of this land, we are forced to try to live righteous and holy in the midst of all of this iniquity. Because they will not do what the Most High says when it comes to dealing with iniquity and sin. Rather, they condone it. They are partners with it. But those of us who follow the laws, statutes, and the commandments have a better understanding now as I go through these 10 commandments. It is a covenant, and we now understand a little bit better about the 6th commandment that reads, you shall not commit murder. I'm Melky Uriel. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, and I want to say, once again, I've enjoyed myself being with you, and I respect your time, and so, hey, I am going to check one last time to see if there are any questions pointed to me. If not, then I am going to skedaddle. I'm going to be out of here. And you know what? I think that we are good to go. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. May the Most High bless you. May he smile upon you. Remember that Israel is no longer cursed. We are the blessed of the Most High. And so we await redemption so that we can live as a nation of people as he desires us to. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. By all means, please, if you're new to this room, please go ahead and yes, I love you too. I love you too, Josh and Penny. I love you too. All of you that are in the chat room, I love you. Peace and blessings to you. And I'm so glad that we are all, that we're all in this together. So, hey, may the Most High bless you. Remember, Israel is not cursed any longer. We are the head and not the tail. We are blessed coming in. We're blessed going out. We're blessed in the city. We are blessed in the field. May the Most High bless the rest of your week. May the Most High smile upon you deeply. May he make your way plenteous and great. May the Most High give you the very desires of your heart. Peace and blessings to you. Shalom.